Oh, girl, your wig is shifted. Tuck your hair in. Pretty sure. Ain't I cute? Get a good picture now. Oh, okay. She she think he's coming back. This to here because this is no longer your home. Oh, girl, your wig is shifted. Tuck your hair in.
Looks like it might be an ongoing thing because her caption actually says Jackie's still rambling. So there might be other clips in here. Maybe at the end of the video, we'll double back and see if there's any other context we can hash out. But y'all, before we get into the next clip, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second and actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype.
Good morning, y'all. I just want to give y'all like a little quick update. I'm sorry for the noise in the background. Y'all know they be playing music in here. I feel like the hardest part about being homeless, y'all, is the weekend. Because, through the weekday or whatever, the kids got school. So, you know, but the weekends, I have to find something to do. I have to find them find them something to do. Like, the weekends are hard. I'm not even going to lie to you. The weekends are hard, especially when we don't have no place to go. It's hard. But I got up because y'all know this is where I get my mental together, the gym. So I got up and got to the gym this morning, and so far my workout is going all right. It's just a lot of shit that's on my mind, concerning my kids and stuff like that, and our well-being. Other than that, we just gonna keep pushing, y'all. I'm gonna shower here. I got my stuff in the car. I gotta rearrange my car. I think I'm gonna wash my car. I'm gonna take my kids with me, and I'm gonna go wash my car and organize them clothes that's in the back because I got clothes mixed in with my underwear, all that type of stuff. So I guess I'm gonna organize that today and go get them some breakfast. I did get my little TikTok check or whatever. It wasn't much, but
Okay.
hey, it's enough for us to get something to eat for the next few days. So that's alright. Yeah, we just taking it day by day, y'all. I just want to give y'all a little update on what's going on and all of that. Anyways, y'all, I hope y'all have a great day. I'm gonna finish this little workout. Y'all know I don't have nothing specific that I work on when I go to the gym. I just kind of hit everything, but I go hard with glutes and quads. Yeah. But anyways, all right, bye y'all, and I love you.
Yeah, just take it day by day and keep doing whatever you can to stay mentally stable. Because I don't know how many kids she got. She really didn't disclose it. I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna do a little research. I'm gonna see if I can find that out because that can give a lot of context. But it seems like she's carrying it okay based on the circumstance. But for my young ladies out there and young fellas, is it worth it? Is that couple minutes of passion worth all this that has to come on the back end? Because I think that she would be okay if it was just her. I think she'd be able to take care of herself comfortably. But entering the kids into the equation, as she was saying, as far as her schedule, it just adds a lot of different challenges that make it hard for you to really perform to your full potential. Now, it's kind of crazy because the whole time I was watching this, it's like she's in the gym, right? I've heard people say that the gym is like the club now. So I say this to say just really how hard it really is to distinguish what you could be entering into, especially when you just go up to people on the streets. And if you're still into that, as far as approaching people in person and, trying to date that way, man, it's really Pandora's box. You don't know what you're going to get. Because imagine somebody comes up to her in the gym and they just find her attractive, just strictly off of physical attraction. They say, yeah, I could look at that for a lifetime. Let me go up to her. Let me get her number. Man, you get her number because when you do the first little interactions, it's usually going to be pretty quick. It's just going to be, hey, what's your name? Where you from? If you got a little bit extra tools in your belt, a little bit extra tactics, then you can maybe add a little extra seasoning on that thing. But for the most part, the goal is just to get the number, right? So, and then you usually engage in the conversation afterwards. But that can come back to bite you, especially if you're a busy professional. Here's why. You done got her number, you feeling good, you're on a high, you like, I done got my workout in, I done pulled a little fine little whatever. So then you get to texting her, the first text is just gonna be jokes and breaking the ice and still trying to get to know somebody. And maybe a day goes by, maybe a week goes by. But eventually it comes out. And you're like, hey, can I take you out? And then it's gonna come out real smooth. It's like, no, I can't. I got my kids. And you're like, kids? How many kids you got? Oh, I got six. You got six kids? Yeah, and actually, I was actually gonna reach out to you because I was gonna see if we could come stay with you for a night. Our hotel stay is up. It'd be like, you homeless too? And then if you really want to just add insult to injury, if you want to just really put the final nail in the coffin, you'd be like, well, how many fathers? You'd be like, she got six kids. How many fathers? Seven. You'd be like, seven? She'd be like, yeah, one of my kids, they're actually let me leave it alone. But yeah, I mean, this is how it can go now. So it may be in a lot of fellas' interest to just want to, be able to do a lot of screening early before you really start investing your time just for it to not go nowhere and just really all this stuff to come out. And you're like, wow. Because I bet you that happens more than you think. I bet you it does. And that's not even counting the other things that can come out. That's not even counting, shoot, if a baby father is just crazy. Let me tell y'all something. Did y'all know, man, sometimes you'll be with a chick, you'll be like, what's that? And she'll be like, oh, it's a bullet wound. You're like, a bullet wound? You be like, how many of those you got? They're like, seven. You be like, you got seven bullet wounds? But I digress. Let's move on.
Hit these hardships, right? Then they want to gloat in your face when they actually do decide to help you. Like, you remember that time I paid your rent? Mind you, this was like 10 years ago. Like, it don't even be nothing recent that they help you on. But let you get help that one time 10 years ago, they'll never let that shit go. And I've seen narcissistic parents and emotionally immature parents treat strangers better than their own kids that are probably present with them. Like, it's crazy what you'll see a narcissistic or emotionally immature parent do for a stranger. They'll buy the biggest, fanciest gift for a stranger to make the stranger feel like they're a good person, but let you ask for a pair of shoes because your shit falling apart. Now, all of a sudden, it's why I gotta do all this for you? Why I gotta do that for you? Because you're my parent. Then the crazy thing is, when you have more money than your narcissist, however that's related to you, whether it be a parent or a lover, your narcissist will make it seem like your money that you worked hard for is actually
Just in case y'all don't know the context, because you may be on a mobile device and this little caption is hard to see. She's replying to a comment, and the comment says, I have 4 evictions on my rental history. Every time I would call my parents for help, they treated me like I was a bit off the street. Mind you, all year I would help my mom with groceries and gas. Wanted me to fall off. That's what it says. That's what she's responding to, and why she's going on the narcissistic parent tangent or whatever.
their money. So they'll lie and manipulate and scheme to get this money out of you. And God forbid you peep game, right? For me, I peeped game. I peeped that my mom used to, like, I received an inheritance from my grandmother, right? When she passed, my mom knew that because my grandmother had 4 kids. Her oldest son, her middle son, my mama, and by default, because my mom was a bad parent, me. So she thought she thought her siblings was supposed to get an inheritance, but when I got an inheritance, it was like, oh,
rubs hands like Birdman. This is mine. So what does normal people do? No, let me rephrase that. What do normal financially sound people do with their inheritance? They either
Hmm.
invest it properly or save it, right? My
There we go.
mama, mind you, my grandmother was helping me pay my rent while I was in school. My mama looked me dead in my face and said, "Oh, I'm not helping you do shit." So she wanted me to use my inheritance to pay my fucking rent. And in my head, I'm like, so you get to save yours or
Hold on,
splurge
hold on,
yours
hold
on
on, hold on,
whatever
hold
you
on.
want, but I gotta pay mine. You don't want to help.
Wait a second. I was about to be following her if she was saying, see, I thought that she was a minor when she received this inheritance. And then I thought that was the context of why she was saying her mom was rubbing her hands like Birdman. I thought she was going to say that she was a child and then her mom blew her inheritance. I don't know even why we're reviewing this. I think it's because the comment said I have 4 evictions on my rental history. So that's why it flagged for this because I'm reacting to this in real time. But, ma'am, you were grown and you were living out on your own and you had your own rent and you got an inheritance, which is a blessing for you to be able to handle that and maybe even pay for some of your school so that you can get out of here with no debt. Why are you? I guess her mom got her own inheritance as well from her mother, which is her grandmother, and she's counting her mom how she's spending it. Your mom is in a totally different place in life. If you put this money towards your rent right now while you're going through school and maybe some of your school expenses, then that actually still gives you a stepping stone to be able to position yourself and be able to save and get to the point that maybe your mom is in to where if you get an opportunity at that age, then you'll be in a stable place and you'll be sustainable to be able to splurge it a little bit like she is. Y'all are just in 2 different places in life. But ultimately, you was grown at that time. I get it. You're in school. You're still not fully grown. I mean, you still could use a little guidance or whatever. But ultimately, it's on you, and you got something that was actually very that's not normal for a lot of people to get inheritances, especially in the black community, especially at that age. Usually, you would have to wait a long time because you got to wait for that person to pass on. So you got an inheritance pretty early too, early on your journey. So I don't really know what we're doing here or what we're complaining about, to be honest.
Me. Okay. Then when she found out I had an emergency fund, she was like, "Oh well, she'll tell me all these things are emergencies, right?" The emergency was getting her hair done, getting my sister's hair done. Like they weren't real emergencies. They were saying whatever I gotta say to manipulate this money out of you, so then I can do what I want to do with money that technically doesn't belong to me because I didn't receive it the right way. It's one thing if you say I'm short on rent, I need help paying my rent. I give you the money to pay your rent, you pay your rent, or I pay your rent for you. But for you to say, "Oh, I need help with groceries," and then you get mad at me for buying groceries, that means that you didn't want the money for groceries. You was gonna take it and do something else with it. And that's
Hmm.
what my mother's known for doing. That's what narcissists do. They will say whatever they gotta say, aka manipulate to get their way. They don't care about loyalty. They don't care about you being their child. They don't care about any of that. They care about their wants, their needs, and who is watching. Because now, if I'm doing all of this bad shit and someone's watching me, my story of what I said about you can't be believed because I have to make the world believe that you're this bad person that I claimed you were. And because your life is going well, my story is showing more and more every day that I'm a liar. But if you're falling apart, oh, best believe they talking so much shit. They're like, see, she deserved this because look at how she treats me. Look at how she talks about me. But it's like, just because you're facing hardships don't mean what you said about your narcissistic or emotionally immature parent isn't.
Let me cut in here for a second because I want to engage with the audience real quick. I want to know what y'all think as far as this concept. The concept is okay, I understand that there's a thought process in mass that it's really the idea of blood is thicker than water. So it's almost like no matter what happens with family or whatever the case, you always have to stay close knit. No matter what effect or impact they may be having on your life, how they might be dragging you down, or how they may even really feel about you deep down. Maybe even to the point to where they express it. Which leads me to what I'm basically saying. Is it better to if you just feel this way, like look how she's talking about her mom. Look how she feels about her mom. Look what she thinks about her mom. Is it better to be harboring all these feelings to the point to where you even come out online and expose it and talk like this to strangers about the person that the blood is supposed to be thicker? Is it better to still just keep the relationship currently, but be harboring all this ill will towards a person and all these bad feelings? Or is it better to just separate with love and, keep open the idea that you can always come back later, but you just can't allow it to drag on you right now? What do y'all think? Which one would you prefer to do? Which one do you think is the better move? Because just look at this image right here. That I cut her off because she still had more video to go. She's gonna spend this whole time talking crap about her mom, and look at her face when she's even talking about it. You want to be like this, man? Just go ahead and just leave it alone. And you were grown at the time. You made the choice to, when your mom said she needed whatever, to give it to her. She doesn't know you're fine. You just say you don't got it. Whatever you got to do. But if you make that choice, then you got to stand on that, and you can't be still feeling some type of way about it after the fact. Listen, when it gets like this, in my opinion, just go ahead and just separate for at least a little bit of time, a little cool down period. And then you can always leave the door open. Nobody's telling you to just make indictment of what you can't do for the rest of your life, but just go ahead and take some space away and maybe even just work on yourself. Spend more time, more energy, more mental bandwidth on yourself. She's spending a lot of time and energy really just talking ish about her own family, and feeling emotional energy as well is very powerful. This is taking up a lot of her energy, is ultimately what I'm saying. And so I think it would be more productive to just go ahead and move away for the time being, and just take that time for yourself, and that ultimately that space for yourself. Let's finish and then we'll wrap it up. We're not going to be able to get back to that other situation from the beginning.
True. Like, it's almost as if they weaponize hardships because they use hardships as a justification for their validation. That's why they don't want to help, because if they help, that means that everything they told other people about you was a fucking lie. And they don't want to be seen as liars. They don't want to be seen as manipulators. They don't want to be seen as people who renege. They don't want to be seen as these horrible people that we know them to be. But unfortunately, society doesn't know them as that. Yeah, it is real hell. It's real hell. They want you to help pay for all they shit. Mind you, they're more grown than you. They should be more established than you because they had the mortgage before they probably had you. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all had these bills and shit before I was born.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, for me, I'm more cutthroat with it, man. You don't get to just be around me and be having all these feelings, and especially be talking about me in this way. And if I find out, like, we're still gonna be cool. Nah, I'm gonna make that decision for you. You're not about to be messing up my feng shui, and you're not about to be like feeling some type of way about me like this, because that's dangerous. That's when you see, what was the celebrity recently? He was like a director, and his son, didn't he? His son unalived him, and I think some other parts of the family too. Listen, nah, because this is a recipe for disaster. This is going to continue building up. This isn't something that you just vent and then it wanes off and then you just move on. You're like, huh, glad I got that off. No, you only continue to add to this. So I'm cool. Listen, man, just go. You grown now. Your mom sounds like she got her own stuff going on. Just go ahead and do what you got to do, because this ain't healthy. Y'all, we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. Also, if you could hype the video, hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button, then it shows the points. And since I am a smaller content creator, we actually get more points per hype. And then also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content as well. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.